Testing, testing. We're about to start our CRA meeting. It is now 6 o'clock. Ms. Desir, roll call, please.
Chair Guyton,
Here.
Vice Chair Spiritus. Here. Commissioner Miller Anderson. Commissioner Lanier. Here. Commissioner Davis Paneer. Here. Also present, Attorney Chris Smith with Pittman Law Group, Jadelle Mercius, Executive Director, Shirley Desir, Director of Administration.
Thank you, Ms. Desir. We now have the invocation and pledge of allegiance led by Commissioner Lanier.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, now we're down to the approval of the agenda. Are there any additions, deletions, or substitutions?
Chair,
Yes.
I'd like to ask that we remove the additional parking item on the agenda.
And what number is that?
That is item 7A.
7 what?
7A.
7A. 7A will be deleted.
That's a mobility plan.
Excuse me, Chair, 6A, my apologies.
Oh, okay. Six A. Okay, 6A would be deleted. Are there any further additions or deletions or substitutions? Hearing none, I entertain the motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved.
It's been moved by Vice Chair Spiritus. I need a second.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Davis Bernier. On discussion, is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing no discussion, Ms. Desir, call the question.
Commissioner Davis Paneer. Yes. Commissioner Lanier.
Yes.
Vice Chair Spiritus.
Yes.
Chair Guyton.
Yes,
That motion passes 4-0.
thank you, Ms. Desir. We're now to the consent agenda. Does anyone on the dais want to pull anything from the consent agenda? Hearing none, I entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as printed.
So moved.
Been moved by Councilwoman Davis Bernier. Need a second. I'll second it. Seconded by me. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing no discussion, Ms. Desir, call the question.
Commissioner Davis Paneer. Yes. Commissioner Lanier.
Yes.
Vice Chair Spiritus.
Yes.
Chair Guyton.
Yes.
That motion passes 4-0.
Okay, thank you very much. We're now down to 6B. Ms. Desir.
Resolution number 2026-08, authorizing the approval of the board to execute an extension for the professional service agreement with Jones Lang LaSalle Americas, Inc. to provide public-private partnership and real estate development services for the Marina Village Phase 2 redevelopment project and providing an effective date. The acceptance of public comment cards are now closed. Mr. Chair, we have no comment cards.
Okay, we had a discussion about this at our last meeting, that we were only going to do it for 4 months, I think. So what is this about?
Chair, you asked that this be placed on the agenda.
You know what? You're absolutely right. And the reason I asked that it be placed on the agenda is, um, I requested information from JLL regarding their qualifications to negotiate the marina deal. I asked for a specific person that had that type of knowledge and experience. Um, what he sent me was a profile of all the people that worked there. I saw where they had experience in some areas, but doing a deal like this, I didn't see. Um, and I think that, and I'm not suggesting that they don't be on the team. I'm suggesting that, like we doing for an attorney, um, we need, in my opinion, someone who's done a deal like this before, a 99-year deal, mixed use, marina, commercial, residential, entertainment. This is a specialized deal, and when we sign it, it's going to be for 99 years. And it's my hope that we will get the best that we can get to sit down at the table on the resident's behalf to negotiate this contract. So that's why I asked to put it on there, because um, I think that we need to do the same for the um, planning and development arm of this negotiation that we're doing for the legal, and that is going out for an RFQ to get qualifications from people who've actually done it at this level and done it at a $500 million or more. So, discussion with the council now.
Chair?
Yes.
Yeah, Chair, as we discussed at the last meeting, most projects like this are negotiated by a large real estate law firm, not by a planning and development firm. Usually the planning and development firm just acts as backup to the law firm that's doing the actual negotiations. Uh, So we're probably going to need JLL for some portion of this, but clearly the main negotiations have to be done as per the RFQ that we have ready to go out for a law firm that has a specialty, a real estate law firm in negotiating projects similar to this one.
I do agree to, I'm sorry, Mr. Lanier, Council Commissioner Lanier.
I was gonna ask, for JLL, when is their contract up? Mr. Mercy?
Chair,
Uh,
their contract is up. Their contract has expired.
okay, the last conversation that we had, we would extend it for 3 or 4 months, and then we would go out for specialized services for this particular project.
You are correct with that. A letter to board was sent out to you all to more or less provide a status update on where we are with that solicitation. That solicitation is set to be released at the end of this month.
Chair,
Yes, Commissioner.
is that your understanding that you would extend it for like 4 months and then go to specialized legal and financial pieces for the marina deal?
We did have that discussion. I don't remember if we actually voted on it or not, but I know that we had that discussion to extend it 3 or 4 months. And even at that time, I was expressing reservations about them being our planning and development arm on this particular deal. And I do agree somewhat with Vice Chair Spirit is that the attorney is going to be very vital. But when you're doing a development as well, as he indicated, that backup arm who's done a deal like this in the planning and development space, it's going to be critical to assist that attorney. And if we have somebody there who has not done the deal like this, I think that's going to put us at a disadvantage.
Chair,
I'm just saying that we need somebody. We got one time to do this, and I don't want to go half-stepping. I'd rather go with more guns than we need than need some guns that we don't have. Yes,
I think that,
Commissioner.
you're correct in that, but, I think that we said we would extend it 3 or 4 months because of the other projects they were working on. It wasn't for this marina deal. We were going to go out for that.
Yes, and I think you're right, Commissioner Lanier, Commissioner, Davis Bernier.
I know we talked about having them stay on board for certain projects, but I don't think we agreed to the $25,000 a month. And so that was kind of up for negotiation. How much are they going to be doing and at what cost? Is it as needed and what, but we didn't think that we needed to be paying $25,000 a month when we were going to extend it.
Chair?
Yes, Vice Chair Spurgeon.
Yeah, I agree with Commissioner Davis Panir. I think we had that discussion and they said that they had an hourly rate that they gave us that's part of their contract. And we were going to approve an hourly fee based on as-need basis, and we extended that for 4 months. And yes, Commissioner Lanier was correct. We did say that we were going to extend it 3 to 4 months because they were working on other projects at this time, and we didn't want to stop those projects or hold them up. I believe that when we bring in a law firm, they will probably recommend to us planning and development firms or whoever they need to be part of their negotiation team. So at that point, after we decide who we're going to bring in, and probably we'll question them when they get before the board, who they would recommend to be part of their team on the planning and development side.
Okay, it is the board's pleasure. I just want to make sure that the people that we have at the table are very experienced at what they're doing. We got one shot to get this right. It'll be here for 100 years. And I want to make sure that we can have the best that we can get at the table negotiating for the residents to ensure, one, that it's resident friendly, that they understand that it needs to be inviting to the residents in addition to whatever they're doing to try to make money off the investment. This is still public property. The residents own it. And I think it should be very clear that that should be the concept, a resident-friendly project. And I think it can be done. They can get the ROI, return on investment, with the right type of project, but also make it inviting to the residents. So what I'm hearing is that we're going to question the law firm that we choose about who they use for planning and development in their negotiations. Is that what I'm hearing?
Chair, that's what I think you should be doing.
Chair.
Yes,
So,
Commissioner Davis Bernier.
okay, so if we have the law firm to choose, is that something that we allow them to do, or do we have to put that out as a request, RFP or RFQ as well? Because at that time, then can JLL also submit if they are interested?
That's actually a question for the attorney. But if they bring them on their team, I'm not sure how that would require them to.
That would expedite it and make it quicker. That once we choose a law firm, that part of their whole deal is bringing in planners also.
Had the RFQ actually gone out?
No, the RFQ is ready. We received it. I think it should go out within a week.
Well, I say that to say
Mhm.
maybe we can still insert in there a firm that has a planning and development partner or team that's part of the negotiation. However, the language want to be to bring in the planning and development part of it.
We can do that. The firm would not have an arm of the firm that does
Right, I know.
planning, but we'll make it so they can bring them in as part of a team.
Chair?
Yes, Dr. Spears.
There may be some law firms that actually have in-house people that do this, so I would just leave it open either way and just have them include whatever they're going to do in their response.
Okay. All right. And when they come, whoever we select, we'll have this discussion. If we have to go and get that, I'm not in a hurry to drop the ball. I'd rather take our time, cross our T's and dot our I's, and have the best team that we can have sitting down at the table, leading our negotiations for this property, which is the last property in Southeast Florida that has the intercoastal and a beach, and this is it. And we need to get it right, and we just need to have the right team at the table. Okay. Any other discussion on this item? Hearing none, we're going to move to the next item now, which
We're not gonna vote on this item?
I don't think so. This was more of a discussion about whether if we were going to go out for RFQ for a plan
Oh,
and
it was a
development.
discussion item, okay.
Yes. Okay, the next item is 6C. Yes.
You had resolution, you said this was a discussion, because I think
Excuse me?
staff made a recommendation to adopt, so we had a motion on the floor and it was seconded. So I think we have to remove this item. So because it was a resolution on this item
Okay.
under discussion, we still need to,
Let me, now,
Dispose of it.
exactly, okay, thank you, Mayor.
yes, sir.
The resolution,
So, Chair, as Commissioner Lanier has stated, we did get approval from the board to move forward within that 4 months timeframe for special projects to work with JLL. But I think that we're looking for a definitive amount to not cross a certain threshold. If I remember that last meeting last month, you all stated that 25,000 was something that you all did not have an appetite for.
I
So
think-
if there,
I think somebody floated 10,000 a month. I don't remember us actually voting on the amount, and even hourly was discussed. So I guess the board needs to decide, do we want them to charge us hourly, or do we want to establish a flat rate, a threshold that cannot be exceeded?
Chair,
Yes, Commissioner Lanier.
I think that we should do this, 25 and a half. And if there are any additional fees that we would have to see them to be, for it to be billed to us, but I think the 12,500 minus the, redevelopment or the marina project is reasonable for the other projects that we have.
Okay,
Sure.
any other comments?
Yeah,
Commissioner Spiritus.
Director Mauritius, can you tell me what other projects they're working on right now?
currently they are working on Element 7. We're going through our financial closing with Element 7. As we discussed earlier today, that additional parking portion, I would have them working on that. The 1851 project as well, where we're going through our professional service agreement portion of that project. So they're within those projects, they're working with us.
Do you have a guesstimate on what the cost would be based on their fees right now to do that?
I had a conversation with a representative from JLL in regards to their fees. They offer their scope of services vary, and I couldn't give you a definitive amount right now as we speak. It depends really on how much work we do with them within a month's basis. Some months we work with them more in terms of contractual overviews, and some months we work with them less. So there's a certain hourly portion that we do, I guess no more than I'd say 15 hours per month, not to exceed 20 hours that we work with JLL in reference to specific projects. We meet with them on a weekly basis.
You know, I think it would be appropriate if we allow them to charge by the hour, since there's no set time frame consistent time that they work each month. So if it may be 5 hours, it may be 10 hours. If they charge us hourly, not to exceed the amount that Ms. Lanier has indicated, I think that we would be safe to stay within the boundaries of what we think is fair.
Up to 12.5, Chair.
Yeah, up
Okay.
to charge us hourly, but not to exceed the 12.5 that was suggested by Commissioner Lanier each month.
Was that a motion? Did you put a motion on?
Somebody can put a motion on the floor.
Chair?
Yes.
Okay, I make a motion that we extend JLL's professional service agreement for an amount not to exceed $12,500 to be billed on an hourly basis, and any additional cost would have to come before the board for approval.
Okay, you extend it for how long?
Till the 12,500 is used up. Again, it shouldn't be more than 4 months.
Okay,
For
not to
4 months,
exceed
it shouldn't be more
4
than 4
months.
months.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Dr. Spiritus and seconded by Commissioner Davis Lanier that we extend JLL's contract for 4 months. They will be paid on an hourly basis, but the amount is not to exceed $12.5 each month. It's been moved and properly seconded. On discussion, is there any further discussion on this item? Seeing no discussion, Desir, please call the question.
Commissioner Davis Panir,
Yes.
Commissioner Lanier,
Yes.
Vice Chair Spiritus,
Yes.
Chair Guyton.
Yes.
That motion passes 4-0.
Okay, we're moving to the Marina Annex.
Marina Annex Workforce Housing Development, consideration of Riviera Beach CRA contribution assistance. The acceptance of public comment cards are now closed. Mr. Chair, we have one comment card.
Okay, I asked for this to be put on the agenda for consideration. It was originally going to come before the city council. It was decided by their team to bring it before us on the CRA side. So I indicated that I will allow them to make a presentation and share with us what the request is, what the ask is. Would someone from the Marina Annex come to the podium, please?
Chair, to follow along, we have the presentations with you all as well.
Good afternoon to Chairperson and Commissioners. I'm Alfred Fields, President of the Alpha Educational Foundation, as part of the team here representing the Judge Rogers Community Center that will be on the site.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Terry Booty. I'm the co-president of Marina Housing Annex LLC, which is a joint venture between the Riviera Beach Housing Authority, my firm, and O'Connor Capital Partners. In the audience, we have Mr. Peter Bergner, Vice President of O'Connor Capital Partners.
Okay, you have the floor.
So I will make our presentation relatively brief. Just
Thank you.
An overview of the project. To the next slide, please. So I stand before you today asking for some relief for our water, sewer connection fees and city impact fees. Under the total program that we are developing, those fees are approximately $2.8 million. There are two tranches in which they are due. The impact fees are due at the time of construction, and the water sewer connection fees are due towards the end of the construction timeline. These dollars would circulate to the development and then back to the city of Riviera Beach. Next slide, please. An overview of the Marina Annex, the actual program itself. These are 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units, what we consider to be middle income earners, 80 to 100% of the area median income, 4,000 square feet of retail space, which will be marketed and leased to small local businesses, 15,000 square foot community center, which Mr. Fields referenced earlier, and then preferred leasing for what we consider critical employees or workforce in Palm Beach County. So teachers, first responders, healthcare professionals, law enforcement. And then because of the sensitivity around leasing, we'll have local leasing agents that understand the nuances of the city of Riviera Beach. Most importantly, one of the mandates was getting it done. And so our timeline as follows: last year, we were fortunate enough to receive our entitlements in December. We are completing our construction documentations, which is our going through the permit, be able to submit to a private provider. And most importantly, we are looking to break ground at the end of this year. Next slide, please. Really quickly, I just wanted to give a graphic to understand the different sponsorship entities, who is financing the project. There is a large federal loan from the Housing and Urban Development through PGIM of $53 million. We have gap financing from Palm Beach County of $15 million. We put the Palm Beach County School Board in there to demonstrate the land contribution that was surplus. There is the cash from the developer, and then ultimately the relief from the City of Riviera Beach CRA. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So here's where I want to just focus really quickly. We've outlined 10 specific points in terms of the full benefit of what the CRA what their investment would be for Marina Annex. Number one, 175 middle-class families into the city. 2, a new community center with true local engagement, focus on tech education, culinary arts, all of the benefits of being in the community and led by a proven leader with Alpha Educational Center. Number 4, to the heart of the mayor, sustainable revenue for the Riviera Beach Housing Authority. As you know, Riviera Beach Housing Authority has won Housing Authority of the Year. And so with this project, they will have sustainable revenue and be able to grow their housing platform. Moving on to number 5, new civic open space, improved stormwater management system. And so approximately $3.5 to $4 million of stormwater management for the project, which will be shared with the Boys and Girls Club. A complete build out of the street on West Park. This is both parking, landscaping, curb, gutters, striping. Everything will be brand new on West Park. Similar on 13th and 11th Street, not the full street, but a majority of portions of those will be new improvements, including sewer water underground improvements, along with stormwater management, curb, gutters, trees, parking, etc. As it relates to employment, during the construction phase, the 100+ new construction jobs. We have a robust and a direct line of MBE, SBEs that are local to the city of Riviera Beach, one of them being Frank Harper Fire Sprinklers. And so these are meaningful trades. These aren't just folks out pushing the brooms and waving flags. And then number 10, these dollars from the city's perspective will be able to be reinvested back to the CRA. That concludes my presentation at this time, and we are open to questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Those are the kind of presentations I like, right to the point.
Mr. Chair,
Who is that? Yes.
Commissioner Miller Anderson is on the call, on the virtual call. She's been on since roll call. We're just having some audio issues, but she is online.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, Commissioner Miller Anderson. Okay. You said that was one public comment card?
Yes.
Okay. Would you call that one? Then we'll have our discussion.
Lloyd Brown.
Yeah, I'm coming up here to protest. So my 3 minutes I'm gonna stand up here and silence. So, you're gonna get 3 minutes of my silence because I'm protesting against the last meeting we had. Y'all were really terrible. So I don't understand these, civility, whatever, and decorum. I'm not gonna talk on anything. I'm just gonna be quiet for my 3 minutes. You can go ahead.
So do you have any comments?
I don't have to say nothing. That's my three
No, I
minutes.
just asked, do you have any
I'm saying I'm
comments?
protesting. I told her turn the cat.
It's going. It's going.
Okay, I'm just gonna sit here, and I don't want nobody else to say nothing because it's my 3 minutes. These are my 3 minutes, and so don't be rude like you were last meeting. You and the other girl back there arguing.
How much time left, Mr. Deere?
1 minute, 5 seconds. Thirty seconds.
Chair.
1 second. Okay.
Podium, he's on the podium. Chair, I have a point of order question for our legal counsel. We do permits people to speak for up to 3 minutes, but if they're not speaking, do we have to give them the full 3 minutes?
That's something else. Let me research that and make sure. I just don't want to give something off the top of the head.
Thank you.
Okay,
Mr. Chair,
discussion on
Just-
the item.
more so just to opine on that comment, so that we don't have to waste time. If we don't set the time at the beginning of the meeting, and determine what time frame, they can sit and take their 3 minutes to be in silence. I think we've researched and discussed that before, so, but we can get a legal opinion for it. But, if we set the time at the beginning of the meeting and change it, that's the only time we can change it. But if they decide to just take that time to breathe, they can do that, based upon
Okay.
legal opinion.
All righty. Discussion on the item.
Yes, Chair.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, can you hear me?
Oh, now I can.
Hi, I just have a question for the Housing Authority. Who's representing the Housing Authority? Can you hear me?
Mr.
Who's representing the Housing Authority?
Mr. Hurd is not present.
So the
So
Housing
who's
Authority-
asking for the money? Who's asking for the money?
Marina Annex Housing LLC.
Okay, so it's not the housing authority that's asking for the money, it's your company, the Marina Annex.
The development sponsorship team is the
Which,
applicant.
which consists of who?
It is O'Connor Capital Partners and Riviera Beach Housing Authority.
Okay, so one thing with the housing authority, being there's nobody there to represent them, but from my understanding, the housing authority took out a $600,000 loan for the Blue Hand and Broadway project, and they didn't have to. So is that money able to go towards what you all are asking for?
Commissioner Miller Anderson, what you're referencing is a pre-development loan that was approved, I believe, for a completely different project and has.
Yeah, I said Blue Heron and Broadway, a loan that they did not have to take out. They took it out, but if nobody's there from the housing authority to address the issue, I don't know why we're having this conversation. Because if they are part of the team, everybody should be there. And second of all, if this is a for-profit company, why are you asking for relief? Are you a for-profit or nonprofit? How the Marina Annex?
Commissioner Miller Anderson, Marina Annex Housing LLC is a for-profit company in joint venture with the Riviera Beach Housing Authority.
Oh, well, nobody's there from the Riviera Beach Housing Authority. The Marina Annex is a for-profit company. I don't know why they're asking the CRA for relief. This item came before the utility district. As you all know, the entire city, CRA, utility district, all of us at some point are going to be short of funds, or we're going to be in need of funds. So I don't see how the CRA has money to give. We already gave land, right? We gave land for this particular project, right? That was told, that you turned around, maybe not you, housing authority turned around and sold it. So that was $2 million right there. So I'm trying to understand, how is it now that you're going to come to us for something when we've already given the land? We're going to have to deal with some sort of shortfall at some point on the city, CRA, utility district. I don't see how the city, CRA, or utility district is in any position to give any funds away. The CRA also has a lot of needs. We have a lot of needs. So if this is a for-profit company, I don't understand why you all are not able to handle that yourself. And if we're going to sit here and give money away that we have a need for, that's not doing right by our taxpayers at all. So I don't see how anybody with good conscience could say we're going to give a for-profit company $2 million
Chair.
to go about on this project.
Wait, let Commissioner Miller Anderson.
Thank you.
finish. Thank you, Ms. Miller Anderson, Commissioner Miller Anderson. Commissioner Davis Premier, then I have some comments.
Okay, and I'm in agreement with my colleague. Also, we just increased the impact fees because of our need for resources. So I'm not sure why we would go back and then offer up $2.8 million after we just approved the increase because of our future shortfalls. We just approved this project, so I'm just thinking that this should have been the development team should have been aware of the costs or the future costs of this project, and it's to me a little interesting that after just approving it, they're already here requesting additional financial support from the city. So,
Chair.
I said I was going to be next, and then from you. I have a different take on this, and my take is that even though this company may be a for-profit company, the funds, some of the funds they have received, the provider of those funds have put restrictions on what they can charge. They're at a cap. This is for workforce and affordable housing. something that we badly need in Riviera Beach, desperately need, not badly, desperately need. The county has provided 16 million. The federal government provided, I think you said, well, Booty, what was it, 50 million from the federal government?
Yes.
50 million. 16 from the county. The least contribution that I saw up there that was being asked for was from the city. Everybody else is ready to dump millions into Riviera Beach. Millions. 50, 16. There was a 10 about something up there. They're putting their trust in our city, all these government entities. And if they come here in Riviera Beach say, no, we're not going to give anything. When people try to get funds to come to Riviera Beach in the future, it's going to be a problem. The city not willing to step up. We're not going to put our money there. So at some point, we need to understand that if we're going to attract housing for the low to moderate income, and we have the federal government willing to give 50 to make this project work, the county willing to give 16 to make it work, and we're saying that we're not willing to give 2. I disagree. That's not going to be a good look for us in future projects. If when these companies go to the county and the federal government to get funds to do something in our community, we may get denied because of we're not stepping up. We're all in the bind. Wait, let me finish. I'm almost done. I'll let y'all chime in.
No problem.
I love you. I love you. Everybody's in a financial crunch. To include the county, to include the federal government, to include everybody that's given to this project. They all are in a financial crunch. But they felt this project was worthy enough in Riviera Beach to dump at least $65 to $70 million in this project. We've been asked for 2. For a good cause. They got a cap. They can't make any money on it. They can only charge so much. They're capped out and they're not allowed to charge the market rate of what it's actually worth. They come to us to help them get over the goal line. At some point, we have to understand that if we're going to attract projects like this, we've got to step up to the table. We have a lot of things going on behind the scenes. When I say behind the scenes, there are issues that are circulating that really doesn't even pertain to the project. It's got things to do with other things. And it's disturbing that the federal government would give 50, the county would give 16, and the city in where it would benefit the most, the city where it's going to be at, saying we're not going to help you get over the goal line.
Sure.
That's embarrassing.
Okay, Chair.
Dr.
Chair.
Spiritus,
I was
and
next.
then, and wait, Dr. Spiritus, then Ms. Davis, Commissioner Davis Prenier, and then the mayor,
And Ms.
Dr. Spiritus,
Chair.
and then Ms. Lanier.
Sure. Thank you, by the way, for your comments. I agree with everything that you just said. But most important here is that this project was started with the Alphas and the Housing Authority years ago. I remember when sitting in this very room when the city council voted to move forward on this project. At that time, when they were doing their pro formas in the interim and putting their packages together, they had no idea that we were going to be charging. We had no idea that we were going to be charging a $10,000 water hookup fee per unit. That's substantial. At the same time, we didn't know that we were going to be raising water fees 130% on top of that. Our goal here, I mean, this is one of the reasons that we sit here, the CRA was formed, was to provide affordable housing. We have an opportunity now to provide 175 units to those people that work for the city, that some of them live in the city, many of them live in Port St. Lucie because they can't afford to stay in the city, so they travel back and forth. You're talking about your school teachers, your nurses, your firemen, your police officers, your city workers, the people that work for us. If we want to keep them, we have to be able to give them a place where they can afford to stay in this community. Obviously, we're better off having our workers live in our city. We get, obviously, they will feel better about doing their jobs when they live here, and they'll care more about it. But we've already done this before. You know, Villa La Anse, we subsidized that project for almost $80,000 a unit. This particular project, they're asking us for $16,000 a unit. But what's most important is to note that as part of this project is a community center. That community center alone is going to cost more than $2 million, what they're asking us to subsidize here right now. Everything that we're giving is coming back to us. It's going to come back to us in taxes. It's going to come back to us in services and housing. This is everything that we were formed to do. So for us, as you said, Chair, I mean, to be on the 5-yard line and not come into the end zone when we have the ability to help them get into the end zone, it doesn't make much sense whatsoever. I mean, this is what our purpose is to provide housing for the people in our community, those who need it the most. So we're trying to rebuild our city with workforce housing. It's very, very important. Most communities would love to be in the position that we're in right now, to just put up 2.8 million and get 175 units of workforce housing plus a community center, plus cleaning up an area that looks horrible right now. We all remember the trailers sitting there, and everybody, we go there for meetings or whatever, but that wasn't the highest and best use for that property. That isn't what the neighbors in the area wanted to see. We have the opportunity to really turn the city around right now with this project. So I support their request, and I hope that we have more projects like this. And by the way, we have to keep in mind that there's not going to be a heck of a lot of profit in this project. You know, most developers, everybody thinks everyone's making $1 zillion here. They probably won't see a profit in this project for at least 5-6 years before they start turning a profit of any point. Towards the end of the project, the Housing Authority and the Alphas are going to do real well in this project. They are joint venture partners. You have to remember, we always encourage, I wish Villa La Anse would have brought in a private developer in their project. That would, maybe we wouldn't have had to put in the full $2 million for those first 24 units or whatever. It's always better when you have a private developer who's experienced to partner with our not-for-profits here. It makes a very good match for being able to create development and create housing. So I do support this project and this request.
Commissioner Davis-Bernier.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Doc.
And thank you all for sharing that information. In no way, shape, or form am I saying I don't support this project. I voted for this project. I think affordable housing is needed, and I support it fully. I definitely promote the retail space that we're going to offer. And anybody sitting in the audience knows most of them I've worked with as a nonprofit organization or participated in events at the Alpha Center, the Nelson's Outreach, very adamant about supporting our local nonprofits. So just let me say that I'm very excited about this project. And I would hope, you said to get them across the finish line, I would hope that this $2.8 million, even if it wasn't granted, wouldn't stop them from proceeding. But I really would hope that. But my question is this, because I do believe, I agree with you that the city should also be a participant in this project. But what is the value of what we've already given? Do you have a value that you can put on what the city has already given toward this project? Because I don't want people to think that we have not been partners with this group.
I can get those numbers. I don't have those numbers readily available at the time right now, but I can get those to you all.
Okay, but there is not even a estimate kind of deal.
As of right now, to the top of my head, we haven't made any contributions besides the land of the space as of right now.
Okay, and the land?
I can get those numbers to
Okay,
you.
gotcha.
I'm
No
sorry.
problem.
Yeah,
That's
let me-
okay. No, that's okay. That's
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
All right, so we did give something, but with regards to what my colleague said, I definitely am in support of this project. Um, I still say it's a little questionable to me, with asking for this, $2.8 million. But like I said, I do realize that we increased the impact fees. And if that's one of the things that is, impacting your decision to have to come before us, then I will definitely consider that. But it just has to make sense for us financially as well. So that's what I would have to say.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Premier Mayor Lawson.
Thank you. Just a few questions and a statement. Mr. Booty, how long will this project remain affordable? AMI is 80 to 120.
The current land use restrictive agreement is for 50 years.
50. Second question, representative from Housing Authority was requested. They are partners on this deal. Is there a reason no one showed up from the Housing Authority?
I think just logistics,
Good.
no
We
issue.
We typically just want to have a representative from all partners showing up present and being present. But you do have a partnership, and they have spoke about this item before. So, and I've met with Mr. Hurt and the team. Contributions besides the land, I don't want to make that a de minimis claim. Director Mercius, do we have an appraised value on what the land is for that Judge Rogers facility?
We do have an appraised value. I can get that to you.
Okay,
That appraised
because
value, yes.
there was a statement that was made earlier that the minimal investment from the city of Riviera Beach, CRA, was only about 2 point something million, which is being requested tonight. But the value of that land, the number of acreage, also substantiates a substantial investment. While I agree that there's multiple agencies investing into affordable housing, that is not de minimis when it comes to what investment is coming from our city. To that same point, my concerns are Soboco will be coming online in the near future. Aculina will be coming online in the near future. The CRA budget will not be able to continue to spend the amount of money that's coming in through the TIF dollars and the revenue that's coming in. CRA budget is for slum and blight. We have to invest into projects that's coming online. And these are the only projects that have affordable and workforce options that require the dollars necessary to actually build housing. So if we're bringing and generating all this additional revenue, we can't take those tip dollars and put it over to the water plant. We can't take it to these other facilities. We have to invest it into our CRA while we have the next 13 years left in our CRA. I'm absolutely supportive of this contribution because there's not a lot of projects that are being built with affordable and workforce housing in the country. We're building market rate projects. And if we don't have sustainable projects that are affordable for residents that live here, we're going to lose all the opportunities for people to actually live, work, and play in Riviera Beach. So this investment is vital, board. The CRA will be generating substantial amount of money with the additional projects that are currently in entitlements. This money is supposed to be reinvested back into the CRA. So the next 30, 40, 50 years, the residents will have additional ad valorem tax to help draw down the price on some of the other facilities. That's the basis of development and economic developments and why CRAs were created. We as a city are responsible for investing into that. We have a few housing projects. We're investing to single family homes. We're investing $50,000 into affordable fee simple homes. But we do not have enough land or real estate to actually make a strong impact as we could with this, with one major splash. We would only impact at a most 20 homes versus the 140, how many total units are here?
175.
175 families that can live for the next 50 years in Riviera Beach at an affordable AMI. I really want to see those AMI numbers though, because one of the concerns is that they come in, they showcase this pretty picture of a lower rent, and then it immediately is increased or spiked. We need to stabilize it, keep it consistent, and keep it affordable. So that has to be in some of the riders where the 50 years is required, where the increases are limited to the AMI increase of the income of Palm Beach County, and we have to make it exclusive. I love the fact that you guys are making it affordable and you're giving preferential treatment to some of the actual needed classes, especially ones from Riviera Beach. But board, I think this is a great investment for us. to invest into our housing authority, our partners, and a project that is going to bring actual affordable housing that our workforce, our police force, and our departments can actually sustain. The community center and the retail centers are both going to be viable. So we invest into this, we have housing options as we continue to develop and grow our CRA and our downtown core. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mayor Lawson, and Commissioner Lanier.
I just wanted to say that I supported this project from the very beginning. The conversations that I've had in regards to this project have been, the city has a education advisory committee, and we have tried everything we could to figure out how to increase the scores and the grades of the schools. And, you know, they talk about the parent input, they talk about after school programs, they talk about tutoring, and there's a lot of things that are going into these schools here in Riviera Beach. But what we have not tried is getting the teachers to actually live in this city. We have tried everything for these schools. And I think that, you know, you have a school that has, you know, 50 teachers, and maybe one may live in Riviera Beach. And we need to have more of the teachers who teach in this school, teach in Riviera Beach, to actually live in Riviera Beach. And I've been trying very hard to figure out a way to increase the grades of these schools. And I think that having the teachers to actually live here is going to have a big impact on how the schools look in the future. And if we're doing all of this development, you have to understand that people do not move here. They move here for schools. If the schools are not good, they're not going to move here. And we need to have something that is going to help us to increase the schools, the grades of the schools, and having those teachers to actually live here. So this project, I have supported from the beginning, but I talked to the people with this project to make sure that these teachers are tapped to be able to live in these apartments, to be able to teach these kids, and to live in the city as well. So I definitely support the project, and I just want to make sure that it is known that, you know, we talk about first responders, we talk about, you know, police, fire, but it is the teachers that is going to change the way that this city is being seen, and it's the schools. And we have to invest in our schools. So I think that this ask is not even substantial in terms of making sure that we can look down the road 30 years and have our teachers, most of them in this city, living in this city.
Thank you, Commissioner Lanier. Are there any further comments on this project?
Yes, Chair, I did ask to speak.
Commissioner Miller Anderson.
So I hear everyone's justification to support the project, but like you said earlier, we have invested in this project by giving that land. That's first of all. Second of all, I haven't seen any evidence or research done yet where a school grade will go up because the teachers live in the city. And then third of all, the CRA has a lot of other slum and blight that they can put the money towards. I know one of the things has been trying to work on Avenue E. So it's not that we don't have needs, it's just our priorities are not in that right direction. So, and then the other thing about it is that we have provided them with other lots. So are they gonna come to us later on and ask for the same thing for these other lots that they haven't started on yet? I think it will be a travesty to provide a for-profit company, for-profit, not a nonprofit. We're saying the housing authority, but we're talking about the Marina Annex, which is a for-profit company. If they're not able to do the project on their own, why do they have it? That makes no sense that we have to give the land, then the housing authority sold the land, and then now they're coming to us asking us for other relief. When does it stop? They have another project on Blue Heron and Broadway. They have another project along Blue Heron or by H Avenue East. Are they going to ask the same thing for those? When does it stop? Again, hey, it's up to you all if you're in support of it, but it's funny that last week we were all talking about all these shortfalls and we got to tighten our belts, we got to do this, we got to do that. And then it was pulled off of the agenda because you can't say that out the right side of your mouth and then turn around and the left side of your mouth say, let's do it. So you pull it off and put it on the CRA. And now we're over here saying everything is fine. We don't really need the 2 million. We can go ahead and give it to them. No, that doesn't make sense. I think this is a big mistake by doing that. And, you know, if you all move forward with it, it won't be no one's fault but this council if we have issues and then we don't know where to go to get it. Thank you.
Mr.
Thank you,
Chair-
Commissioner Miller Anderson.
Mr. Chair, just one quick comment, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Mayor.
Thank you. Just one last comment. And I hear Ms. Miller Anderson, Commissioner Anderson's concerns, but we're crossing over on different boards, different staffs, and we have the unique opportunity to serve as utility district. We serve as council members and we serve as commissioners. So looking at this as an individual itemized budget from the CRA, operating through our CRA, and looking at the vision and peer view of a commissioner's eyes in the CRA, this is going to operate in the budget that's coming through my CRA. I can't cross over to my utility district budget, which is what we talked about, to take from our CRA because I can't spend these dollars over there. So my opinion is based upon the needs in the CRA and the Sum and Blight. Ms. Miller Anderson did touch on an important point. I do want us an update on Avenue E because we have to have funding and a plan and a process because that was rolled out about 5 years ago. So how quickly will we have that item? Because we need to make sure we're addressing this downtown corridor, which is adjacent to this project. If we're investing with housing options, they're putting hundreds of $1 millions into housing. We need walkability. We need mobility, which is going to be presented tonight, but we need to make sure we're making those same investments because we can't just give away all the money if we need have to be strategic, but at the same time, this is the investment that has 170 plus doors in our downtown corridor, just off of our marina, which is going to be adjacent to market rate, brand new restaurants and retail that's being invested by Related Group. So if Related is investing into our community, if Sobelco is investing into our community, and if Forest Development is investing into our community with all market rate, we have to do the same with affordable and workforce. And that's why I would absolutely support this.
Chair?
Okay, Dr. Spiritus, any other comments? We're going to have to vote on
Okay.
this.
Yeah, I just want to mention, the mayor just reminded me, by the way, that we put $900,000 into the for-profit related development project here at the marina. Also, the Villa Laons, we put the land into that project as well. This is our job, to create affordable housing in this city. So I'm pleased to be able to support this project. I'm very happy that I was able to work on the project from the very beginning to the point where it's now. Hopefully we'll see the shovels coming out of the ground soon and people moving into a beautiful house in the city of Riviera Beach, and also the community center, which could be used, by the way, for your after-school programming. So thank you so much for investing and believing in our city, to both Mr. Fields and Mr. Booty, and of course all the others in the Housing Authority and that are part of this project. Mr. Bergner, thank you, and the O'Connor Group as well. Thank you.
Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Spiritus.
And,
We have had a lot of
Chair.
debate.
Chair,
Who's that?
just something right
Oh,
quick.
okay, Commissioner Lanier.
Just right quick, there is, I just wanted to read something that says there is evidence that suggests that having teachers who live in the community can better lead to outcomes in areas, particularly teacher retention and student-teacher relationships. One of the most consistent findings is that teachers who are from the community, live in that community, are more likely to stay. A 2024 study of over 80,000 teachers found that these teachers had higher predicted retention rates compared to their own non-hometown peers. I just wanted to say that there are studies that show that teachers who live here, there are better outcomes.
No, absolutely.
Chair Guyton.
Teachers have a positive.
Call the question.
I'm getting ready to call it. Last statement. We can never go wrong supporting workforce and affordable housing, even with a for-profit, when they have a cap on what they can charge. That's how they keep the rates low, cutting into their profit. So they're not making a lot of money on this project. I need a motion. Wait.
Chair Guyton, if I can, Commissioner Davis Pannier asked a question in regards to the land value.
Okay.
After looking it up, the 1.3 acre development assemblage has an overall appraised market value of $4 million.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I need a motion.
So moved.
It's been moved by Dr. Spiritus and seconded by Commissioner Lanier. I'm sorry?
I just wanted to amend that, add something to that motion.
Okay.
I wanted to add that, that they have that the Merciers has the authority to negotiate and execute an agreement with Marina Annex, but also the agreement should include appropriate deadlines, milestones, and verification opportunities to ensure that the funds are allocated properly.
Do you accept the
Yes, I
amendment to
accept
your
the amendment to
motion?
the motion.
Okay, the maker of the motion has accepted the amendment. The motion has been amendment. Is there a second on the amendment?
Yes, second.
You made the amendment. Second on the amendment, Dr. Spiritus.
Yes.
Okay, on discussion. Is there any more comments on discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Zier, call the question.
Commissioner Davis Panir,
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
So the amendment was put on, first we got to vote on the amendment
Yes.
and then
that's
vote
what-
on it. So this is on the amendment.
This is on the amendment. Yes.
Commissioner Davis Panir,
Yes.
Commissioner Lanier,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller Anderson,
Commissioner Miller Anderson, can you hear us or are we having technical difficulties?
Vice Chair Spiritus,
Yes.
Chair Guyton.
Yes,
That
and let's
motion-
try Commissioner Miller Anderson one more time. I just want to make sure that she has an opportunity.
Chair,
Yes, okay, there you
I-
are.
yes, I'm not voting. I will not be voting. I am not sick.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay. I understand. Okay,
That motion passes 4-0.
So now we vote on the,
Oh, she's sick.
she says she's not sick, so she can't vote.
Okay.
okay, that was the amended motion. Does the maker of the original motion want to take that motion off of the floor and we can be with the amended motion? If not, we'll have to vote that original motion down.
So we'll take the original motion off, Chair, and we'll
You-
use the
And the
amended
seconder,
motion.
Yes.
you're removing your second too?
Yes.
So we're good now. We vote on the amended motion, it passes. And the instructions in the motion would be carried out by, the CRA. I'm sorry, you're looking puzzled. What's the question?
We're looking to confirm the amount of the 2.8 million, if that's
Yes, that was the motion.
That was
That's
the
the
motion for the full amount.
And
Thank
also,
you.
and also for you to negotiate, and execute an agreement with
Yes,
them. Okay.
received. Thank you.
For milestones. Okay, motion passes. Thank you. Thank you, all of you who are contributing to our workforce and affordable housing here in the city of Riviera Beach.
Mr. Chair, for
Yes.
the record, the organization that's doing that's partnering this, the not-for-profit organization, could you state the full name of that organization, sir? No, Mr. Chair, that gentleman, could you state the full name of his organization, Mr. Chair?
The full name of the organization?
Yes, sir.
I don't know. Well, one is the Marina Annex
Marina Annex,
LLC.
Alpha Educational Foundation, DDL, Inc.
But the underlying organization is what, Mr. Chair? I'm asking you.
I don't know. Hey, what's your name?
Alfred Fields,
No, the name of your organization.
Name of the organization.
Alpha Educational Foundation, DDL, Inc. Under the auspices of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity, Inc.
Foundation, DDL,
Yes.
Inc.
I say
I said Alpha. Yeah. Oh,
Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated.
Oh, it just went over my head. It just registered.
Thank you.
Our CRA attorney, Our CRA attorney is an alpha. I was wondering why he wanted me to repeat the name of the. Okay, counselor. Thank you, alphas.
Basically.
Okay, we're moving right along here. 7B, the Rafiki Tiki LLC.
Seven
Oh,
A.
I'm sorry.
7A.
7 what?
A.
A.
Oh, yeah, I crossed it out, but then y'all told me to keep it, right?
Yes.
Okay, 7A.
Resolution number 2026-09 of the Board of Commissioners of Revere Beach Community Redevelopment Agency, adopting the Revere Beach Community Redevelopment Agency Mobility Plan as a guiding planning document for future mobility, transportation, pedestrian, bicycle, streetscape, and connectivity improvements within the community redevelopment area, authorizing the executive director to utilize the mobility plan in support of future capital improvement planning, grant applications, and redevelopment initiatives, provided an effective date. The acceptance of public comment cards are now closed. Mr. Chair, we have one comment card.
Okay, I entertain a motion.
So moved.
Been moved by Vice Chair Spiritus,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Lanier. On discussion of the motion, who's going to give a brief presentation?
I'll start it up, sir.
Okay.
So essentially, at our June 10th, 2026 meeting, EL Waters Group, our planning and development firm, they went ahead and provided a short, brief presentation along with questions and answers. And this is generally just a follow-up item for this. There will be no presentation, more or less questions and answer session along with any constructive feedback that you all have. We are looking for a motion to approve the mobility plan and also providing authority to move forward with a pilot trolley study that the CRA will work on as we move forward on mobility plans.
Was all of that in the resolution? I didn't see all that in the resolution.
No, that's not the resolution. That's just to
Oh.
ask that verbally. That's what I'm.
Okay,
Yes.
because the motion is for the resolution now. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But I know I didn't remember reading what you just said in the resolution. Okay, on the resolution, are there any comments? That was one public comment card.
Yes. Lloyd Brown.
How you doing? You know, I see you got the CRA, but over there where I live, you talking about housing. You know, you got people living on S Avenue, been in them apartments. Those apartments been there since I was in elementary school. And you talking about building whatever you're gonna do, this place, okay. It's a lot of people over there, you don't even look out, you know, to help. And I mean, the CRA, you need to be doing stuff everywhere. I mean, I don't even know what you got the CRA for, because if you talking about putting all this money, this is our money. And the way you people talk, you act like it's your money and you just could go in on this issue and make these different statements on what you could do and how good it is. And then, you know, it's not right. You know, I got a lot of friends I know that's homeless right now. And they won't be able to get into them places. And that's not the only point. I know you're gonna build it because somebody getting paid. I know you're gonna build it. So what you do, you build it with the people who bring their people in. They bring the train, they bring the cars, and they bring the caboose. And you got all these people in Rivera Beach, jobless, homeless, and you talking about the CRA, that's where you should be putting your money, over on the other side or over around E Avenue, like Miller was saying. I know it's a lot of men that stand around on these corners at these stores that don't have jobs. They don't even have a place to stay. And you talking about the CRA putting all that dang money in the CRA? Come on, please. That money need to go everywhere. It's not your money just for you to say, well, we're going to vote this in and let some developer come in and do what he want to do. I mean, I really don't care about none of these organizations coming in because they're not helping the blacks, not anyway. They don't give them jobs, and y'all over here, y'all steady bringing them in. And you know, I want to say one thing, Mr. Evans, thanks for making the city great. They didn't want to say you because they don't like you. And then the CRA should never even been made. It's just ridiculous because what you doing, you talking about a workforce, people coming in. I know people that live over there need jobs. I don't care about these teachers living in Jupiter or police living out. When they come here, they don't give a damn anyway. Because I done talked to a couple of people who work for the police force. I got a few friends on there, pretty good friends, but I done talked to them. They don't live here. But when they come here, it's like they don't give no respect to the people who live here, especially on the other side of the track. I think y'all should just get rid of the CRA completely because you're not doing anything to help the black people on my side of town. We just spending our money and that's it.
Okay, discussion from the dais. Is there any discussion on this resolution? Hearing no discussion, I call the question, Ms. Desir.
Commissioner Davis Panir,
Yes.
Commissioner Lanier,
Yes.
Vice Chair Spiritus,
Yes.
Chair Guyton.
Yes.
That motion passes 4-0.
Okay, and Mr. Mercius, you brought up some points that you wanted direction on, but there was no backup provided here. Did you plan on bringing that to the next meeting, or how were you going to handle that?
Thank you, sir. So what I'm asking is to receive authorization from the board to move forward with a pilot study for a trolley program. I wouldn't move on forward with a trolley program or invest any equity into it without receiving permission from the board or providing some type of direction into making such an initiative go forward. So with this mobility plan and its approval, I'm also asking that I garner authorization to move forward with a trolley program on its pilot stage.
Understood. But do you have the plan here tonight?
No, sir, I do not have the plan here.
Do you have?
I would,
Yeah, I think that we should have the plan in front of us.
Sure.
We're prepared to vote for it.
so what we're saying is that,
But it's up to the board, however you all want to handle it. Yes, Dr. Spiritus.
Okay, so, Director Merzius, do you have a trolley on the MPO's plan? Is that where, did you ask for a trolley from the MPO from the county?
we haven't had any discussions in regards to trolley, besides the fact of the feasibility within the mobility plan. That's the only discussions that we have had thus far for trolley and the possibility of a trolley mobility plan. That's it. We have had discussions with the MPO board along with Palmtran about its feasibility, but we have not moved forward with that trolley plan study.
So this is the first step. After you finish this, that would be the second step.
Correct. Yes, sir.
That's what I wanted to get clear. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Could you bring the plan and your proposed mobility trolley
Pilot.
information to us for review before we vote on it?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, the next item, 7B.
Rafiki Tiki LLC, DBA Rafiki Tiki Restaurant Bar and Grill Professional Agreement. The acceptance of public comment cards are now closed. Mr. Chair, we have one comment card.
Okay, I requested this be put on the agenda. There was a somewhat extensive discussion about the lease agreement. We did vote to approve it. Within that lease was a $900,000 allowance that had a reimbursement component on it to do improvements to it. But we voted with the $900,000 in it. There was some discussion about it should be lowered. As it stands now, the agreement is in place. We voted on it, and the $900,000 still exists. Since that time, the tenant has graciously offered to reduce that voluntarily to $700,000. That is something that he didn't have to do. We voted on it with the 9. He could have left it at that, but he wanted to work with the CRA and offer to reduce it by 200,000 and said he'd just make it work. We sent over another lease agreement, and then the the tenant attorney indicated, and I agree, that all it needs is an addendum to the lease that's already executed. Did you send the lease out, the addendum out to the commissioners?
No, sir, that addendum has not been sent out as of yet. We received that addendum earlier today.
Okay. So the tenant is ready to reduce it by 7, but only with the addendum that was sent. I thought maybe the executive director would have sent it out, but apparently he didn't. So,
Chair?
yes.
At the last meeting, I had already spoken to the tenant prior to the last meeting and the last vote, and he actually agreed to reduce it down to 500,000, but I could not get the support of the board to adopt that. They went along with the 900,000, which was a little confusing to me. But I just want to give a little bit of history here. I was the third vote that got this approved, got this lease executed originally. I could always revisit that vote, by the way. I was the third vote. The purpose of this lease was to give the owner of this restaurant the ability to add on to the inside of the facility, which we knew may not exist in a long-term basis based on the project that we're doing at the marina. And a lot of the council members were upset and said, why are we even doing a lease when we're doing the rest of the marina project right now? We don't know how this is going to interfere. And I made it clear at that night that we should not let this interfere. We were going to have an exit ramp attached to the lease, which would then give the developer the ability to recoup his cost from the developer if the developer wanted him out of the lease prior to his lease being expired. So that was like a quick fix so he could put money into that project. But I had no idea that we were going to be putting in 700,000, 900,000. Most landlords don't do this. They give you an envelope of a building, and then they give you a very small fee for a build out at that point. We're not in the business of building a restaurant bar. That's not what we're here to do. And this is temporary. This is short term. The city is not going to recover that money. We're going to tie our hands with the negotiations with the developer, and we should never put ourselves in the position where we have to negotiate on behalf of a third party in order to make the project happen. I think that we're making somewhat of a mistake. I'm all for my original extension of the lease and giving a lease to the Raftiki restaurant. I think it's very important. I think the owner has been good to the city. The city's also been good to the owner. It's been obviously a good project for both and for the community. But there has to be a point where we say, no, we have to stop this. This doesn't make any sense. We have to be business people. We have to treat the same way you want the best deal for 0 through 7 or 6 on the project with attorneys, big attorneys negotiating. Why are we not doing the same thing here right now? We're talking about something pretty major that's going to impact that very large project. I'm all for giving a lease, but the lease has to make sense to the city council and to the CRA and to the community. And right now, I don't see what we're doing as making much sense. I mean, I don't want to have to revisit this and take a new vote on the lease itself, whether we're going to give a lease or not. I just want to make sense out of what we're going to do. I do support giving the lease, to Raftiki for, it'll probably be there for 3 years. We know that the developer that we chose is planning on building a conference center. Some people call it a convention center, but it's really a conference center on that location. So we know for sure in 3 to 4 years, that building is not going to be here. So to make this investment and try and tie us up right now, especially when the lease had already expired, doesn't make much sense to me. I mean, we have to do this, and I think the owner understands this, the owner of the restaurant, that it has to make sense for everybody in the city what we're doing right now. So I just caution and request that the council think very seriously about what we approve here right now. I mean, we were questioning giving money for affordable housing. We don't seem to be questioning anything right now. Because we are not going, you're not going to see the recovery of that money. It'd be very
Okay.
unlikely that you're going to see that.
Thank you, Dr. Spritz. Let me just say,
Chair,
yes, one moment, Ms. Miller Anderson, I have the floor right now. Let me just say that, in addition to our vote, we signed the contract. We've got a contract now. And I'm not sure what the clauses are to revisit it. But once I sign the contract, I'm gonna honor that. I'm not gonna go back on it and try to twist their arm and say that I want something else back now. But whatever those clauses are in that contract, that's the only way that we would be able to revisit that. I'm not an attorney. I see the attorney is at the mic. If you want to make a comment.
Well, just to revisit it and some more clarification, they're in possession of a lease that was signed by the executive director. And under our rules and our past, what we've done in the past, that lease is signed by the chair of the CRA. So the lease was was signed by the executive director who didn't have the authority to sign that lease. So you're correct in that there is a signed lease from the CRA, but that lease, I would contend, is not a valid lease until it's signed by the chair of the CRA. And so what we were attempting to do, I would like to put another lease in front of you that the chair could sign, because right now, the first question is, I know the restaurateur has already started doing some work, and he has an argument for apparent authority, and he relied on that lease, and relied on apparent authority. But going forward, I would be more comfortable with a lease signed by you as the chair. We have a meeting in August, so if it's possible, we can do a resolution and put the exact lease in front of you to sign by August.
Okay, let me say this.
Yes, sir.
The tenant came before us today in an effort as a good gesture. And now we're trying to backdoor him to revisit the lease. I have a problem with that, a real problem. He didn't have to do that. You said that Mr. Mercius didn't have the authority. Do we have an ordinance, a resolution, a policy that says that the executive director cannot sign contracts?
He has to be given authority to sign contracts.
No, listen to me, attorney.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't need no legal mumbo jumbo. Do we have an ordinance, resolution, a policy that says that the executive director cannot sign contracts? That's a yes or no.
I'd like to research that and make sure.
Okay.
Chair, point of order.
Wait, point of order, okay. Research that. I have,
Yes, sir.
and maybe I missed something.
Point
But
of order.
I just, point of order, takes precedence.
Yes.
What is your point of order?
My
A point of
point-
order, a point of order is
okay.
normally called when there's a mistake in a
Yes.
procedure.
Yeah,
It's
Chair,
not
you're-
called just to get the
Yes.
floor.
Yes, no, I'm calling a point of
Okay.
order because you made a statement with respect to the chair signing the agreement.
Wait,
But our,
wait,
you asked about the
wait,
resolution.
slow
You
down,
said
slow
that
down,
you
slow
asked
down.
whether there was a resolution.
Okay,
No one seems to know the answer.
Slow down. Doc, please slow down. Slow down. A point of order is for if I procedurally did something wrong up here.
Yes, there was something
But no,
procedurally
it's
done
not
wrong. There
about
was
my
something
comments.
procedurally done wrong
It's
by this
about-
board. The board did something improper procedurally.
Doc,
Procedurally, our
Doc,
resolution
Doc,
authorized.
I'm talking about
proce-
Robert Rules procedurally.
This is Robert Rules procedure. The
No, you're
procedure
talking
was,
about my comments were incorrect.
no, the procedure that we followed. We passed a
Doc.
resolution saying that
Doc,
the
please,
executive
Doc.
director was authorized
Doc,
to
I'm trying to respect
negotiate
you,
an
Doc,
agreement
and
and
you're
bring it back to
over-talking
us.
me now.
That didn't happen.
You're over-talking me. Robert Rules of Order said you need to point out a mistake of what I didn't do with the Robert Rules of Order correctly. You're talking about our procedure to sign contracts. That's different.
Okay.
That's different.
Okay, I'll
Thank
wait,
you.
I'll say it again when we.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Commissioner Miller Anderson.
I almost forgot what I was gonna ask, but I think, yeah, so I think someone said that the contract expired or something, or there is no contract or something, and I think I was gonna ask, what is the expiration date for the contract? From my understanding, it wasn't expired yet.
The lease agreement expires in November of 2026.
Okay, so what were they referencing when they said something is already expired, or he doesn't have a contract or something?
Does the lease
Well,
expire
is that
December
question,
2026?
was that a question being asked of someone? Because it's not, this is irritating. The people come before us in a good gesture, and we're trying to take it through the back door. I don't like that kind of business.
Yeah, my question
Yeah.
was, I know I heard someone say that it has expired.
This is not
Are you
what they came
referencing the same
for.
thing?
They
Huh?
just came to say that they're willing to reduce it.
Say what now? Okay.
Nothing.
Did I hear someone say that,
No,
yes or no?
I see the attorney still, I don't know what you're researching. I don't know if it's.
I
the
answered the
ordinance.
question. She asked, when will the lease expire?
Okay.
Their current lease wouldn't expire till, it expires in November of 2026.
Okay, so the lease is not expired, so why is it, you said he brought it before us?
Because the tenant was gracious enough to say that I will voluntarily reduce the amount that is in the contract that was executed by our executive director, who I think is an agent of us. I'm not an attorney, but he's an agent of us. So
Yeah,
that's
but
going to
we've
be a
never let
difficult
him
argument.
sign anything
But
before,
but then when it came before us, then some people want to go back door to revisit the lease, and it's not valid, and that's a whole lot of
But-
craziness.
But isn't that what, the owner is trying to do now?
I'm sorry?
Isn't that what the owner is trying to do if you're saying that he is trying to reduce it and the lease is
No,
not
no.
expired yet?
No, we said that in the contract, he can spend up to $900,000 on a renovation. He's saying that no, you all had a discussion about reducing that. I'm gonna do it voluntarily, even though we voted to keep it at $900,000. And now this has ballooned into a conversation about who signed it and could they sign it, and that's craziness.
Okay, Chair.
I'm a man of my word. We signed an agreement, and it is what it is.
Chair?
Yes.
Yeah, I know that you're a man of your word, and I believe that 1,000% because I've known you quite a while. But we have a fiduciary responsibility to the community to make sure that we
Not
do
to treat
everything.
people
Please let me
unfairly, though.
finish. I'm speaking now. We have a fiduciary responsibility to make sure that we follow all the laws and the rules of the state of Florida and the city of Riviera Beach, and of course the federal government and the state. When we passed this resolution originally, we said, I'm the one who made the motion. We said that the executive director was going to bring back a lease for us to discuss and execute. He went and executed it without bringing it to us. So I question whether or not that's a valid lease. It certainly wasn't the intent of this board that was acting on behalf of the 40,000 people that live in the city. I think we have a responsibility to every one of those people. When we make a vote and we say something publicly, we have to follow through with that. That did not happen. The executive director went and executed the lease agreement. There is question by our counsel whether that lease agreement is legal. We still don't know. He hasn't finished his research yet. But as I said last time, at the last meeting, I met with the potential leasee, and he agreed to not spend up to more than up to 500,000. But once again, we're not just giving them a blank check to spend 500,000, 900,000, or whatever that is. That has to be negotiated. I don't even know whether those funds have to go out to bid, since it's our money, and it seems like we're the ones that are going to have to recapture that money or try and recapture that money. Originally, when I made that motion, it was the tenant that was going to recapture that money from the developer, not the CRA. So that changed. I'm starting to have second thoughts, really, about whether we want to tie up this entire development project, because this got out of hand. This is not what was the original intent to give this lease. It's certainly not my original intent. I want the owner to be able to build out his restaurant, have another 3-4 years here. Hopefully, the developer and he will work out an agreement, which the developer said that he would do his best efforts to do that when he gave his presentation to ensure that this tenant stays on the property. But right now, I'm having some real second thoughts, and if we can't work anything out, I am going to bring a revisit, and then we'll see whether or not legally that lease that Mr. Mersey has signed was a legal lease or not a legal lease.
Okay, any further comments?
Mr. Chair.
Mayor Lawson.
Thank you. Director Mercier, as part of the lease agreement, do we have any discussion in reference to parking or assigned parking for the restaurant?
In the contract, there is a section that states in regards to parking.
Okay, and where are we with that? Because I know that some of the Rafiki Tiki signs were taken down. What is the next steps with this actual assigned parking for the restaurant? Do they have defined spaces in the marina?
Because we are on a public parking, this is a city parking lot, no businesses or vendors have rights to any parking spaces. What we have done is we are preparing ourselves to move forward with implementing 3 to 4 parking spaces that would be time parking spaces where it's no longer than 45 minutes per a patron to park in a specific space. But there is no dedicated parking spaces for any businesses.
So the marina agreement that we have with the, are we talking about with the marina space? You're saying that there's limited, we're not allowed to have assigned parking for any business?
Any businesses, because it is a public parking space.
And is that a state statute? Is that CRA code? Or is that?
That's more or less the best practices of city parking lots throughout all of government, county.
Okay.
And to the point to the contract itself, the parking, I believe in the contract, there is no stipulation for assigned parking within their lease agreement.
I thought the original contract did have assigned parking spaces.
There's no assigned parking spaces. I will confirm that, but there is no assigned parking spaces.
Okay, so board, I think we do need to visit that as well and have that discussion, because even though there's other businesses within the marina, this is a restaurant, and this restaurateur would need some type of defined space. And I know you're working on some type of time space, but having something where we can work with this restaurateur to have those defined spaces. And then, board, what is our next step with this lease? We'll bring this back before us? When is this coming to us? What's going to be the next step?
Mayor, let me say something first. As it relates to the parking, finance has been overseeing and collecting the parking I had a meeting with the parking company, with the city manager and their attorney. We're going to be discussing parking on our city council meeting on the 15th. Randy Sherman, who's the director of finance, also came over and spoke to the owner of Rafiki Tiki regarding some potential options of some spaces. And I think, Mr. Mercer, you need to contact Mr. Sherman to find out what that discussion was.
Yes, we have been discussing back and forth. I have a conversation that's due with the city manager as well to discuss what that parking looks like in the future.
Okay. Yeah, this was originally just brought here to reduce the amount that they can use. So I'm not sure what the board wants to do with it now, but that's what the reason, because the tenant volunteered to reduce that amount that he was going to use. So,
Mr. Chair, I think he was going to answer the question about what's the next steps.
But, Mr. Chair, I'm looking at the bylaws of this organization, and the executive director isn't given any authority to sign documents on behalf above $25,000 value. And that's why at the end of every resolution, you authorize the executive director to sign contracts. So you give him that authorization through resolution. I don't think there was a resolution passed to authorize the executive director to sign a contract. So where we're standing now is there is no executed lease.
what does the board want to do? The last vote that we took, we voted to approve the lease.
Chair, I make a motion that we postpone this item and give the executive director an opportunity to negotiate a new agreement with the tenant and bring it back to us at the next meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded to try to renegotiate the lease, but that would depend, in my opinion, if that the other party want to participate in that. You just don't say that I'm going to force a renegotiation, but there's a motion on the floor to try to renegotiate the lease.
Chair,
Yes, Commissioner Miller Anderson and then Ms. Lanier. Commissioner Lanier.
you said Miller Anderson?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I know we're talking about the lease agreement and, those things, but I do have a concern regarding some of the activity that has been going on over there at Rafiki Tiki, which I think is not really a good look for us if we're trying to develop the marina. And when I say that, some of the activities that I've seen online is very inappropriate when you have families out there, you have people coming out there to do business at the marina, and the type of activity that is going on out there goes against all of that. So, and I think Mr. Dimitri has been spoken to by police or code. So hopefully that can improve, and he understands that, it's a restaurant, it's not a club. And the activities have to remain within his area, but has to be appropriate. And then I also heard that maybe he didn't have a permit for some work that he had done. Is anyone aware of that? I know I have to do a little more research on it, but I was told that he didn't have correct permits, and the occupancy was not listed on the outside of the wall where it should be. Mr. Mercedes, are you aware of any of that? Are you able to speak to that?
I am aware of the occupancy issue that has been brought up over the past couple of weekends. In regards to his weekend activities, that has been a point of contention with our code along with our police officers.
Chair.
Okay, there, Ms.
Okay, well,
Lanier,
I think
and then
that,
there's.
I'm sorry, I was trying to come off mute.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
that definitely has to be addressed. I don't know where he is with that. Is it done? Is it gonna be addressed as police and code has been involved in it? But if he's gonna be there, I think he needs to be aware of, how the entire marina is trying to operate. And if that is going against what we're trying to do, then there needs to be another conversation had about the lease. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Lanier.
I wanted to kind of piggyback off that because there was a question of people having to be body searched to come into the restaurant. Is that true? Body search, purse search? I got that from a resident. It said that they were body searched to come into a restaurant. That does not need to, and I'm assuming that based on what Commissioner Miller Anderson has said, that it may have turned into a club and they have to body search people to come in, but I don't see that for a restaurant. So if that is happening, that should not happen in a restaurant space. And plus, on top of that, it's just that restaurant, the marina itself does business. You have these boats going out every day. You have people parking, people working, and that kind of environment is not conducive to business. So that certainly needs to be looked into, and especially having body searches.
Mr. Chair, before we vote on this, there's a couple of issues that we need direction on before you vote on the motion by Councilperson Spiritus. There's four things within the lease that we're going to need direction on as we do this lease. The first, we need to do the reimbursement amount. Right now,
Okay, wait. If there's a motion on the floor, we either need to resolve that or rescind that before we start having other discussions about something unrelated to the motion on the floor.
but the motion on the floor is for me to come back with a lease at the next meeting. And so we
Okay.
want to get some clarification
Okay.
on what I'm bringing
Okay, I
back
see where you're
before you vote on that lease.
Okay.
So the first thing that we need clarification, the reimbursement. So right now, I mean, the figure of 700,000 has been put out and 500,000. I know under reasonable reliance on what the owner has so far, he has expended almost $300,000 so far. So we need to discuss how much are we talking about to bring back in another lease.
Chair,
Mr. Chair.
Chair.
Dr. Spiritus and then Mayor Lawson.
Right, Chair, I think it's important that we reimburse the tenant what is normal reimbursable costs on a project like this. We need an expert to tell us what a normal landlord would provide someone who's doing a build out in a restaurant, what the cost would be. Are they just giving an envelope, which is what I believe is normally done? You give an envelope of a building and then the owner builds it out. This owner has spent $300,000. A lot of it would not be eligible by a normal landlord in a build out. That's the tenant's responsibility to pay those additional costs. And that's one of the reasons I asked for this to be postponed, so that you can go back and revisit this and speak with your experts and find out what is normal in Palm Beach County with landlords and build outs with restaurants, and what expenses are to be included and not included. Now maybe it is 500,000, maybe it's 20,000. I don't know. Maybe it's just a percentage. But this is what we have to find out before we can execute a lease. We have to make an educated decision when we execute this lease, what's best for the community and for the tenant as well. So that's one of the reasons. So I don't want to put a number to it right now. I think you should go back and come to us. Maybe there is no number. Maybe there's a different process that's going to be used. A percentage per square foot or something. I don't know which way it's going to be done, but you should come back and tell this board what is the norm in the region for this type of build out in a rental property. That's why I want this to go back and you come back to us because we need more information before we can make a decision on this. So that's very important. What else? I don't know what else you're looking for in the lease.
There's a provision of the lease of right of first refusal that was in the draft lease that was signed. And we were discussing that could be a problematic when it comes to the development.
Right, so.
Wait, clarify that. Why would that be a problem?
In a scenario where a developer is looking to move forward and build on a project, a right of refusal gives a business owner the opportunity to dictate what time frame or the development, if it actually can occur based upon their space, and whether or not they agree with that project in itself and how it would affect their business. So essentially, the leverage would be gone away from the city, and it would be only with the business.
No, I don't know. One moment. The right of refusal, as I understand that they have the first option if a builder is coming in and they're going to do something different and they're going to have a restaurant somewhere else, they have the first right to bid or to have an option to get it. I don't know where you.
Correct. That's
Yeah.
essentially correct. Yes.
Chair?
Yeah, I know. So where you just went and
Well,
left
what I
field.
was saying was I was given a scenario of what could happen if a restaurant were to have that first right of refusal clause, and if a developer was to come in and
Yeah,
look to.
and they said, we're gonna have a restaurant over here. You have the first right to bid on it. They may or may not accept that, but they have the first right to bid on it.
Correct.
Yeah, so, but even the developer then doesn't have to accept the bid if it's not reasonable. So,
You all asked me for what my definition of a right of refusal is. I
Okay.
just gave
All
that.
right.
That's all. I'm just putting up
okay,
something else.
I heard
Chair,
Ms.
I-
Lanier, did you say something?
Yeah.
And then Dr.
Mr.
Spears.
Mr. Chair.
I think it was the mayor person, didn't he?
Oh, Mayor, I'm sorry, Mayor.
Thank you. To circle back on the amount, what was the original amount that was negotiated in the previously signed lease? Reimbursed amount?
The previously signed lease, which is where he's currently in right now, that lease, it was about for 40,000 for his allowance.
Wait, back up. The lease that he's in now has 900,000. That's the one that you all are talking about challenging.
Correct.
Yeah.
But that's not the current lease. I thought that the lease that he's in now, the one that has yet to expire, that has about 41.
Okay, no.
Oh, okay, so.
He signed a new lease.
Okay,
But
so
go
I guess
ahead,
I'm
Mayor.
talking, so thank you, Mr. Chair. So I'm talking about the lease that's being challenged. So,
Yeah, the lease
I'm
that
sorry.
be-
Yes, sir.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
yeah, so what was the amount of that lease that's being questioned?
The original amount was up to 900,000.
Okay. And the board is now saying, and this is a question for the board is saying that that lease is not a legal or valid lease for us to proceed. A city attorney.
I'm saying that.
And the board now wants to renegotiate the terms of this lease as opposed to approving and moving forward with it.
Which is what we.
No, it's already approved. They want to challenge that approval.
The attorney's challenge, the attorney's saying that it's
Yeah.
not legal.
Huh.
Okay, so I'll respect the attorney's opinion, but in regards to the current lease that we have at the table, that we have already negotiated, that was signed, you want that ratified by the board?
Yes, sir. Well, you need a lease ratified by the board that the board has seen and said that, okay, this is the final lease that we're gonna, in the chair of the board to sign it.
And you've presented that final lease to the board, and the board is now saying they don't agree with the terms.
No, I'm trying to, as I come forward with a final lease, there are some things in the lease that he's relying on now. There were some concerns in that lease. And so I'm trying to get direction on those concerns. So when I come to you next month with a lease, they were not going back and forth. I'm trying to get some direction on things you would like to see in the lease. And one of them is the reimbursement. As I mentioned before, he's
So here-
already spent
about 300,000.
Thank you. Thank you, Attorney Smith. So the amounts that was negotiated in this lease that was signed by Director Mercius was how much? 900,000.
Up to 900,000.
Okay, and Commissioner Spiritus, you're saying you want them to go back with finding out what's market standard versus what was negotiated. Who negotiated the 900,000? I mean, it was signed by somebody, so who negotiated, signed, and that's in the current lease? Who negotiated
It
the
was
900,000?
signed by the executive director.
Who
I'm
ne-
not sure who.
So that's my
who
question. Who
executive.
negotiated the 900,000?
The board did.
Oh, the board did not negotiate that lease. That lease was brought to the board already executed. So the board did not have an opportunity
No,
to negotiate that lease. We were told that that was an executed lease.
Wait, no, it didn't come to us executed. That's not.
Yes,
true.
yes, it did.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. No, it
Chair,
didn't.
Mr. Merzius, or attorney, when it was brought to us last time, was that lease executed? Was that lease signed when it was brought to us? I made the motion to reduce the number at that meeting because it was brought to us as an executed lease.
No,
And I questioned whether or not the executive director had the authority to sign that lease. Because our motion, when we gave the lease originally, the motion was for the CRA to go back and negotiate a lease and bring it back to us for us to discuss and negotiate and authorize the executive director to execute. That didn't happen. A lease came to us and it was already executed. That's why the chair said it's an executed lease. You believe it was executed. Our counsel now is telling us that he believes it is not a legal executed lease. I believe we can negotiate an agreement right now based on the terms that was the original motion that I made to extend this lease that would satisfy me and satisfy, I think, the tenant and the community. It would make more sense from a financial standpoint, and that's why I made the motion that I made just now.
Okay.
And hopefully we can vote on this very quickly.
Okay. Mr. Attorney, did you have anything else for us? We need to vote and move from this.
I had something, but,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
all right, so now, you know, I
And
had,
then whatever you have, Mr. Attorney, we'll address that, and then we have to vote. We can't talk about this
Right.
all night.
exactly. So I had a problem with this from the very beginning because of the fact that we're in negotiations now for the marina. Now, if you're saying that permits were not pulled, and there's an issue with permits, and they spent $300,000 without permits, then that's going to be a problem. I mean, people do that at their own risk. Number two, it is my understanding that the developer would reimburse this. This is not what, is this not what you guys said to us? That the developers would be reimbursing the restaurant for whatever they had going on because of the fact that that we were going to allow them to stay there. Now, I do have a problem with the $300,000 already spent without permits. That's the first thing. Number two, I got a problem.
I'm sorry, I'm not to interrupt you. That is not true. I know for a fact the building department
Okay,
has
well
been
then we
over there
can, so
inspecting it.
if they can provide us that to us, because then that means that whoever is saying that needs to be corrected.
Yeah, they need to be
So
correct.
we need to make sure that we as a board have that information. And second of all, the 300K is something that needs to be reimbursed by the developer and not the city for those expenses, because that is my understanding of that. Am I wrong to understand it that way?
What is the language in the contract? Apparently there was some language that said that we would reimburse them initially. So it's on you.
The language of the
Executive.
contract does state a clawback agreement. The clawback agreement states that as the restaurateur develops his portion of that restaurant, that the developer would come back and provide some type of financial, I guess, clawback to the actual space of construction.
Would it come back to the CRA or to the tenant? Because right now, you and I have been talking about the reimbursement of what he's already done.
Correct.
Yeah.
He
and
has done work in the amount of about $208,000. That work, I have received a letter from his lawyer asking what the process would be for his payment and reimbursement.
Mr. Attorney, what is the legal language in the contract?
Mr. Chair,
Yes. Well, 1 second, Ms. Miller Anderson.
I think, can we find out if that work has been done without a permit? Because if so,
Yes,
why are
well, no, it has not been done without permit. I can tell you that. I've been in discussion with Mr. Sermons and the building department because I heard that same thing, and I like to have my data, documents, and everything.
Yeah, I know, but did they
But
give
you
you
can get
something
your
in writing?
own, or you can get your own information if you like. But I've researched
but-
that too.
Did
they-
you,
the
did
directors
they
are
give
gonna
you
send
something
it
in
to us.
writing?
I'm sorry?
Did they give you something in writing?
Yes, they gave me something in writing, and they also advised me of the issues that they have addressed. Mr. Sermon has it all.
Okay,
Send
oh,
that-
okay.
Could you,
All right.
Executive Director, could you make sure that we get that? Because if someone is calling us, telling us this, then we need to be able to refute that.
Chair?
Will do, yes.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
thank you.
sorry.
And then two, if you're talking about clawback, how could there be a clawback from a developer that who's not a party to this? What are we talking about here, y'all?
Right.
And I think that we need to table this because there's a lot of issues going on with it and it needs to be fixed. And we're not gonna hash all that out tonight.
Okay.
So I make a motion that this is tabled.
There's already a motion to postpone it.
Okay, very good. Is there a second?
Yes, there was.
Yes, there was a second. Who seconded?
Can we call the question? I did.
Yes. Okay, the question has been called. That take precedent. As a matter of fact, I went back and researched when the question is called. It requires a second too. That's like a motion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need a second on the question being called.
Okay, second.
It's been seconded by, cause we had that one night and I went and researched it, but you know, I gotta get it right. It's been seconded by, Councilwoman Davis, Commissioner Davis Lanier. That takes precedent. Call the question. Let's take the vote.
Mr. Chair, we do have a comment card for this item.
Comment card first.
Lloyd Brown.
I'll give you 3 minutes of hell. Let me tell you something. I never seen, I know you're gonna say this not on the point, I never seen a group of people who run in a city and they can't agree. Lucky they wasn't coaching the Knicks, because the Knicks would have lost. I mean, honestly, I'm looking, I mean, I know you want me to talk on this issue, but I'm looking at, you got like in your, like rules in here, right? Okay, unauthorized remarks by the audience. What in the hell is that? I mean, it seemed like some dictator, Kim, you know, in North Korea, he does that kind of stuff. He don't let you express yourself. And then another thing, you talking about, I got to talk to the whole group at one. That don't make no sense. That's not even logic. When you go to court and the judge asks you, the man that broke in your house, you say, oh, he's sitting in the audience. That's what you say. Hey, look, people, y'all listen to these people. Because my friend told me, he said, Lord, did you see them Margaret in there? And you want to put rules down here for us and you don't even follow them? I mean, you can hear y'all talking back and forth up here and you leading the city and then y'all spending money, our money. I don't even know these people over here. And I'm talking about on my end of town, y'all forgot all about us. I mean, all y'all done gained a little weight here, so you must be eating pretty good. Because I'm going to tell you, it's a lot of people over there homeless. And I'm protesting. That's why I'm not talking on this. And I mean, this place back here, y'all give away everything you can. Y'all give these people anything they want. But these black people that live in Riviera Beach, when I came in, there was Shell Rock Road. Some of y'all was probably still in your fathers. It was Shell Rock Roads over here. We had stores everywhere. We had gyms going on where people went in. We had a council in here. We met them in the street. We had a mayor that was in the street. That was Brooks. We had a mayor that came out. We didn't have nobody to come out when y'all want to dedicate something like a street name, you spending all this money. And here it is, you get up here and you're arguing, and then you want us to follow the rules. That's like, you sound like some of the police I see on, not y'all in Riviera Beach now, but you sound like some of the police that I see on these little things on my phone. You want to do all the talking and dictating. We grown people. You talking about language, we grown. We ain't no kids out there listening to what we saying. But the way you make it, like you in a classroom and you the one teacher tell you to hold the class, you write up all your friends. I mean, you let your friends go and you want to write up us. Y'all the ones that need to straighten up and look at this thing about the quorum, whatever your rules. Because for them, y'all don't do nothing but argue.
Miss Desir, do we have any general public comment cards?
Mr. Chair, we have 3 public comment cards.
Okay, could you
Regular
call
public
the general public comment cards now?
Okay.
Did we carry the vote yet?
Didn't vote on the motion yet.
Vote on the motion.
I mean, the motion, I'm sorry.
She has to call the vote.
Ms. Desir, would you call the question on the motion on the floor to postpone the discussion on the
For the Rafiki Tiki item 7B, it's been a motion to table this item? Is that-
Yes, to postpone it, yes. I don't think we carried the motion, did we?
We did.
We didn't vote on it, so call.
We didn't vote on it yet,
Huh?
no.
Chair.
We didn't vote yet.
Okay,
Chair, my motion was to postpone and for staff to go back and renegotiate an agreement with the owner and bring it back to us.
yeah.
At the next
Seconded.
meeting.
Then the question was called, the question was seconded, and now we're ready to take the vote.
Okay. Commissioner Davis Panir,
Yes.
Commissioner Lanier,
Yes.
Vice Chair Spiritus,
Yes.
Chair Guyton.
Yes.
That motion passes 4-0.
Wait, back up.
She's not voting.
Wait, my vote is a no. I'm sorry, I was doing something here.
Chair Guyton,
No.
Yes, no.
that motion passes 3-1 with Chair Guyton dissenting.
Okay, the general public comment card. You said we had 3 cards?
We do, Chair,
Okay.
you do have to read the public comment.
Okay, comments from the public. Item speaker, 3-minute limitation. Public comment shall begin at 7:30 p.m. unless there are no further business of the city council or the CRA board, which in that event shall begin sooner. In addition, if an item is being considered at 7:30 p.m., then comments from the public shall begin immediately after the item has been concluded. Please be reminded the CRA Board of Commissioners has adopted rules of decorum governing public conduct during official meetings, which has been posted at the front desk. In an effort to preserve order, if any of the rules are not adhered to, the commissioner chair may have any disruptive speaker or attendee removed from the podium, from the meeting, or from the building if necessary. Please govern yourselves accordingly. Public comment shall begin at 7:30 unless there's no further business. Okay.
Terrence Davis, followed by Lloyd Brown.
Good evening, Mayor, Commission, and staff. Terrence Davis, 420 West 31st Street, Riviera Beach, the wonderful city of Florida. I want to come out tonight to invite all the local residents of the Park Manor and Riviera Beach community, as well as the business community, for July 20th, the Riviera Beach Gateway Project is having a community information meeting here at the Hatcher Room at 6 o'clock. And that's on a Monday night. We send invitations out to all of the council and the commission and the mayor's office as we team up with the Riviera Beach Housing Authority, which is your entity, to make sure that we do a community project that you can see for eternity, where you can benefit from. When we talk about teachers, when we talk about just general employees. Right here in our community, they can work, live, and play in this community. So we want to invite you out July 20th at 6 o'clock here at the Riviera Beach Marina. I don't know who we need to talk to make sure that on that day that parking can be free for those hours. So when folks come out and looking at housing opportunities and also looking at career and job contract opportunities, more importantly, we want to hear from you. Come out, share your concerns, ask your questions, meet your local team as along with Zach Capital and the Riviera Beach Housing Authority. That entity works for you. Everything that happens with that entity benefits this city. So July 20th on Monday, not this Monday, but the following Monday at 6 o'clock here at the Riviera Beach Marina. Look forward to seeing everybody there. Thank you guys for being patient, working with us as we just get the information out so folks can ask and see what's going on and give some input at the very early stages of this development project. Thank you.
Chair,
Yes.
can I just make a comment? I just want to make a comment that this is an official town hall meeting by Commissioner Spiritus.
Okay. So noted.
How you
Lloyd
doing?
Brown.
You know, it's like, I heard what he was saying, Davis, you know, you were right, but guess what? Those people that you talking to that live around us, what they're gonna do is when you go home, they're gonna say, hey, you should tell them this. That's what they do to me all the time. I say, well, why don't you come over here? They sitting home right now. I'm talking about y'all. Y'all know what I'm talking about. My neighbors, my friends, or whatever. Because when I was coming up, you had people that come over here. I mean, when there was a problem, they would be here. I see Singers Island, let me tell you, when they have a problem, this place be full. But as soon as they bring up something that affect the people on the other side, they run to the stores from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock and they sit on the corners all day and they discuss what Trump doing. And it's like they don't really care about what's going on over here. And I mean, it don't make sense. And you know, I'm not trying to talk about the officers, but let me tell you, I done met some pretty nice officers out here. And I just want to say this. If you see somebody with a bag on their bill, let them go. Because that'll be the same individual that'll save your life. And honestly, I don't think that should be a no kind of law anyway, open container. But I believe that something I said over here about under the bridge, my friend told me that they letting you fish off the bridge again. I didn't know that. My nephew told me. But what I'm trying to say is I'm only one person. And you know, I'm getting tired of coming over here. I can stay home, drink beer, and get high. Shoot, I come over here because I love my city. But I see the people out there in the city, they don't love it at all. It doesn't matter what these people do up here. You don't say nothing. You sit home and you wait till somebody come from the meeting, and then you say, oh man, I saw you on the city council meeting and you said this and you said that, but you sitting on your butt at home while the city's going down. It's a lot of things that they're doing over here, and you see it, but then all you do is come by me or say complain. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna complain about these people here because most of the people I know don't even come over here to say anything. And one thing I can say is you're going to build anyway what you're going to build. But all I'm trying to say is build it with the people who live in this community. Don't let these people come in here and build these projects and you don't hire anybody from here. I know you're going to build them, but build it with us. Y'all have a good day. Sorry about my accent.
Okay.
Doretta Polk.
Good evening. My name is Doretta Park, and I'm a citizen of the city of Riviera Beach. I just want to make a comment. Chair Guyton, you took this particular, concerning the Marina Annex, workforce housing, you took it off the, agenda at the council meeting. Then you put it on this agenda, and at the council meeting, it was totally full basically here. So is that fair? Because some people who was there looking to speak concerning this, you took it off. And I don't think that was fair. There's no one to make their comment here about this. Another thing, I talked to Mr. Josh Neiman, and I talked to him concerning our infrastructure. And will our infrastructure hold these two different developments that's going up now? He said no. Now, I think before you all start voting on this situation, and I thought this was like for consideration of the Riviera Beach CRA contributing. So now is this finalized that y'all voted for this? Because I thought it was a consideration. That's when you think through a process. So I just want to know if this is the final. So the people of the city can be able to have their voices heard. Because like everyone said, this is our money. This is our money that pay each and every one of you. So I think that we need to have an outside engineer. Yes. We need to have an outside engineer come in and just see if the infrastructure will hold this before we get in where even on where I live on 20th and G, those pipes were busting every 6 months. Every 6 months. And we had to smell that stench. But now it's being taken care of, hopefully finalized, and our street need to be totally revamped and paved. People's driveways all cracked. My driveway, I did have some cracks, but not as many of these cracks that I have now. And we need to be whole after everything's done, because now we do have the pipes that should be there, which was a neglect for many decades ago. So I think, I don't know if this is like a finalization. Like I say, it's just consideration.
Thank you for your comments.
And thank you very much. And I hope you bring this back. Thank you.
Okay, Executive Director, any comments?
There are no comments.
General Counsel?
To answer a question earlier, our staff looked up regarding the comments and being able to stand silent for 3 minutes. Yes, there's nothing you can do about that. You can change the time and how long they have to speak, but that has to be for all comments. But someone can use, if you have a designated time, can use their time just to remain silent.
That's why I let it go. It wasn't worth going back and forth. Okay. Anything else, Counsel?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that tomorrow night we are having
No, I mean General Counsel, legal.
Hey.
We are the commissioners tonight.
Okay.
Are you done? Okay. Okay, we'll start with you, Miss Commissioner Lanier.
I just wanted to say that tomorrow night we're having our monthly education advisory committee. We'll be talking about pre-K collaboratives. We'll be talking about the ACT and SAT boot camps that will start as soon as school starts. It is 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, and it will be virtual. So you can contact my office or the city, and they'll give you a link for the virtual meeting.
Thank you for your comment. Commissioner Miller Anderson, are you still on?
I am, but I don't have any comment. Thank you.
Okay. Vice Chair Spiritus.
I would just like to congratulate the CRA on the affordable housing program that they've developed and have under construction. It's important to note that we've approved just in the last 2.5 years over 500 affordable housing units in this city. That's pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
So congratulations to the CRA and the CRA staff. Job well done. Thank you. We all appreciate it.
Thank you, Doc. Commissioner Davis Pernier.
Hey, first I want to shout out the staff and our first responders and the residents on a beautiful 4th of July event. It was
Absolutely.
an amazing time. We got a lot of positive feedback. So we just want to continue to, have, great events for our community. And then for all youth, there will be a football camp this Saturday. Kyer Elam's inaugural youth football camp. He is a cornerback with the Kansas City Chiefs. It will be this Saturday, July 11th from 9 to 2 p.m. Check-in and registration is from 9 to 9:30. It's going to be held at Wells Recreation Center here in Riviera Beach. It's free for youth ages 8 to 18 years old. The first 250 kids will receive a sports goodie bag, a t-shirt, and one-on-one instruction and lunch. We have a lot of wonderful sponsors for this event, but bring the youth out. I know that he had one in Palm Beach Gardens last month, and it was a great success. So Riviera Beach youth, come out, let's show up and show out and support Kyer Elam and learn some great skills.
Thank you, Commissioner Mayor Lawson.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Okay, just one more thing.
Okay.
One more thing. I just wanted to give a shout out to Miss Lena and Mr. Richard with the city's summer program. They are doing an excellent job with the city's summer program. They have been booked since the very first day. Those kids are having a wonderful time, and I wanted to really thank Miss Lena and Mr. Richard for the work that they've done to make sure that that camp is very successful.
Good, good. Okay, Mayor Lawson.
Thank you. Ms. Davis Pannier took my announcements, and I'm going to go ahead and just acknowledge our chairman, Bruce Guyton, on an amazing event he co-sponsored with the county for an entrepreneurial camp that was July 7th. That thing was amazing. I mean, wall-to-wall kids in here learning about leadership and entrepreneurship. So thank you, Chairman Guyton, for your effort and your work on that. Great job in sponsoring and partnering with the county on that. And Director Mercius. Mr. Spiritus, Commissioner Spiritus mentioned all the progress that we've had over these last 12 to 24 months. That's a direct reflection of your leadership. Continue to push. There's a lot that's happening over in our CRA, and we're excited with the progress and the growth. And thank you for your efforts and your energy. You're doing a phenomenal job with the CRA. There's a lot that's falling on your plate, and you're handling it, so thank you for that, and we're going to keep pushing. I want to see some more progress when it comes to affordable housing, workforce housing, but then fee-simple housing. I want to see how we can put some dollars and resources, and I will be asking the board to get support behind ownership and the Reclaim program. I'm sorry, the Renaissance program. We're putting some more dollars into that. But thank you for your efforts and your work, because you've been able to close some deals. We've been in the pipeline for a couple of years now. So thank you for your efforts, Mr. Director Mercius.
Thank you, Mayor Lawson. My only comment is I'd like to thank my colleagues for lively discussions. This is a democracy, and we're not going to agree on everything. And some people try to read things into when we may have different positions. But let me say for the record, I can only speak for me. I personally have zero beef with any of my colleagues. We may get into lively discussions, but I don't dislike any of them. So don't think that we got some beef going. I don't have any beef going on. We just have lively discussions.
I got beef.
I know, I'm speaking for me. But we just have lively discussions, and they're fruitful, and then we take a vote. It's a democracy, and we move on. On that note, have a good night. Meeting adjourned.